Hi, boys and girls. I am going to be reading this awesome Curious George book. It's called You Can Do It, Curious George. This book is a fantasy book, so it's made up because monkeys do not really talk or walk around, and most people for pets only have dogs or cats or fish. So I'm going to read this story, and you're just going to listen as I read it. This is George. He was a good little monkey and always very curious. George loved going to the museum with his friends. While they were visiting the museum, they saw a sign. The sign said that the museum had won a prize. People voted this museum as their favorite. They said this museum was the best. Ooh, see? Our favorite museum, it is the best. So the man with the yellow hat is pointing at it, and George is excited too. When George saw the sign, he started to think, what could he do best? He decided to find out. You can do it, George, said the man with the yellow hat. George went back home. He was good at drawing dinosaurs. Maybe he could draw the best dinosaur picture ever. George decided that he liked to draw, but he wanted to try to do something different. He climbed out the window to look for ideas. Soon George came to a restaurant that gave him a great idea. George loved spaghetti. He decided he could make the best spaghetti ever. You can do it, George. Look at all the spaghetti. George thought it tasted great. He tasted more and more of it and made a big mess. Then the chef came in. Get out, he shouted, out of my kitchen. George was going to have to find something else he did best. George needed another idea. He got on a bus to think. The bus took him to the ski slopes. That gave George an idea. He grabbed the biggest sled he could find. Maybe he could sled down the hill faster than anyone ever had before. You can do it, George. At first, sledding was fun. Then George started to go too fast. Look out, George! George was going to have to find something else he did best. George needed another idea. Then he remembered something he did better than anyone. He rushed back home. When he got there, he took out his kite. He was going to be the best kite flyer ever. George got his kite to go higher and higher. You can do it, George. Then his kite lifted George right off the ground. Look out below! George landed in a tree in the forest. His kite flew away without him. George was going to have to find something else he did best. Just then George spotted smoke. Oh no, it was a forest fire. Oh, see the forest fire? And the animals are running. George wanted to warn everyone about the fire. He raced down and found the fire station. The firefighters quickly put out the fire. Phew! By now the sun was setting. It was too late for George to figure out what he did best. Oh, he's a sad little monkey. George's friend met him back at the museum. The director had heard that George warned everyone about the forest fire. She thought that was the best thing anyone had done in a long time. George did it! Hooray! He found out what he can do best. He was the best helper. George got a very special prize that day. Oh, he got a medal to wear for telling everybody about the fire. Wow, that's very good to be helpful, boys and girls. Here is a poem for you. So a poem kind of puts words together, and then it makes a picture in your head and makes you feel happy. All right. Oh, I can laugh and I can sing and I can scream and shout. But when I try to whistle, the whistle won't come out. I shape my lips the proper way. I make them small and round. But when I blow, just air comes out. There is no whistle sound. But I'll keep trying very hard to whistle loud and clear, and someday soon I'll whistle tunes for everyone to hear. That made me feel happy. How did it make you feel? Time to Play by Nikki Grimm. So Nikki Grimm's is the one that wrote the words. Mama says to play outside. Wish I had a bike to ride. I'll fly to the moon instead. Steer the rocket in my head. I'll prepare to find a star no one else has seen so far. Then I'll name it after me, Africa Lawanda Lee. But for now, I'll grab some chalk, play hopscotch out on the walk. Oh, that's something you could do. My son and daughter like to play hopscotch too with the chalk. You could make one in your driveway. By Myself by Eloise Greenfield. Oh, so this is a bubble. She's thinking about what she does by herself, but there's two of her. So, let's find out why it says by myself, but there's two in her bubble. When I'm by myself and I close my eyes, I'm a twin. I'm a dimple and a chin. I'm a room full of toys. I'm a squeaky noise. I'm a gospel song. I'm a gong. I'm a leaf turning red. I'm a loaf of brown bread. I'm a whatever I want to be and anything I care to be. And when I open my eyes, what I care to be is me. Oh, that's fun. So you could think inside your head all the different things you are. And that's a fun little poem. All right, boys and girls, remember to be kind to each other and don't forget to read, read, read. And there's a lot of other Curious George books that you could look up on your King County Library website, or you could go to YouTube and look up different Curious George books. And I know on PBS Kids, you can look up Curious George games to play. So this is really fun. I thought that Curious George was going to be his thing that he could do best was fly a kite, because that's what the picture on the front showed us. But really, the best thing he could do was help others and warn them about the fire that was coming. All right, boys and girls, I'll talk to you later. Bye.